Hello, Waltz here with VOD review. This is from Jeffro. He's playing around platinum level, and he's playing McCree for the entirety of this match. So from the get-go, he's living a hard life as McCree because he has no shield to hide behind, not even Orisa, and that just makes McCree's life so much more difficult. As McCree, you are really team reliant, but I think for the most part, you do a really good job.
Genji right side.
In terms of just like basics positioning, I'm not gonna talk too much about aiming. No shots there. Okay, let me take a look at my notes real quick. I skimmed through this before. So there's something I want to talk about right here. When you're shooting and you
I shoot whatever I
don't
can safely
think
shoot.
you need to use your reload, your roll for positioning, use it to reload. Because you're shooting shots here. Okay, and this is where I would have not been so close to the D.Va. It was actually really lucky that you didn't die right there. So just in terms of positioning, I think that was a mistake. So here you're fine. This is where your team is. You want to be where your team is. And I feel like throughout the video you play very flanky, which is like a little debatable because you don't have a Ryan shield, so it might be a little harder for you to stay with your team. But this right here is a no-no. Like when you see that fat D.Va, like boom right there, getting pocketed by a Mercy, you're never gonna kill that D.Va. Like even if like D.Va was alone, you don't want to 1v1 D.Va. Unless she's already like half or like quarter HP or something. Like, ooh, if that Genji got you, you probably would have died right there. Thankfully you don't, but you do get Hanzo'd, which is unfortunate. But I think the bigger mistake, it was just going out of point to go flank them. I don't think you needed to flank there. There's some situations where it is helpful, but that I don't think was a situation where it would have made that much of a difference. So I think you're doing good things and doing some bad things, but the good things that you're doing, even they could be done at different times per se. Like it was, I don't think it was the right time to flank there. Here you go for a really good you get a good shot, and then you get a good. So that was a really good flash. I just wanted to comment on that. That was a really good flash because you managed to flash right outside the Hanzo's head. I think that's a really good habit. Because if you're fighting a Genji or something, they could always deflect it. That's good right there. And this is just a really nice ult. Nothing much to say about that. Alright, I want to talk about your next engage with. Here you just wipe up the frags. Okay, I want to talk about this part next. So you see a Hanzo just spamming arrows down there, and
You didn't need to call him, like, you can shoot him and
I think you go for him,
might still
which
be,
is not a bueno idea. It's a good Hanzo, if he sees you like that close and coming up, he would Sonic the spot right here right away. And then right when you come, get a nice headshot or even like an easy scatter. That's like an easy kill for Hanzo right there. Thankfully, the Hanzo isn't that great. And he misses the shot. You probably should have picked up that health pack right there, because if he got a shot off on you, if I was a Hanzo, I would pop out, get another shot off on you and kill you probably. Yeah, so I don't think that was the smartest decision to make contesting the Hanzo. Like you probably should have just been here with your team. Maybe like the Hog probably should have gone for the Hanzo or something. But I feel like you're taking it on yourself to do too much. I feel like you shouldn't have been 1v1ing the D.Va. You shouldn't have been getting out of position there to like kill the Hanzo. And in some other games, you definitely would have been punished and you would have died in those situations. Thankfully, you didn't here, but
just keep out of view from that
you're
room.
scaring me, man. Especially with this, like the Widow. Don't peek the
No,
Widow.
they have both Widow
Like,
and Hanzo.
she just has so much more kill potential than you at that range. Because it takes her one headshot to kill you, while it takes like two headshots for you to kill her. Here, I mean, it was either die or back up. You couldn't do that much. I think you should have been with your team here also. Like they were nowhere near point. Like, which maybe they should have been, and like maybe you were right in your positioning, but again, you need to be with your team as I keep saying Hanzo, as McCree. Okay, and skip forward a minute. Nothing too crazy happens here. You're just poking. Okay, interesting.
It's annoying.
I want to talk about so you get a nice ult off. I want to talk about right here. So this is one of the few places where I want to talk about your aiming, because you do have nice shots, definitely, for sure, like no doubt about it. But like here, when you're killing the Rhine, and when you're like hitting tanks and other targets, I realize that I'm going for a lot of body shots, which there is a time and place for. But here you could have killed the Rhine a lot faster if you went for the headshots, which wouldn't have been too hard. I feel like you just weren't thinking about it. You're just trying to hit his body, but his like head is like, you know, right there, and it shouldn't be that difficult to hit. Like just like, even especially when you flash him, that should be like guaranteed. And you do get close to it, so I think you were aiming for it, but just being a little more diligent with your shots, I guess. Making Anna boss your best friends. So I want to hear them tings. Here, this spot right here. So I want to talk about this graviton. So this obviously, even if you weren't here with that graviton, you guys would have won the fight, even if you weren't there. But in this situation, you just ran out of ammo. This would be a perfect opportunity to reload. So we talked about that before, rolling just to reload. So this would have been a really good opportunity. Just roll, reload, real quick, left or right, doesn't matter, even backwards. I guess you don't want to go backwards just in case they're shooting at you or something, but just roll any direction, doesn't really matter, and then just get them headshots here too. So even here, like this, like if they're in a graviton, it's headshot central, you know. They really can't do much about you just aiming at the shots. Okay, but you guys get the kills anyways, it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. I'm gonna skip forward a few more minutes because
NBA.
I don't think anything
Hans
much
on
of
the
that
left
much
side.
worth comes. Okay, so here actually I want to
Yeah.
talk about.
Mount.
So again, you're playing very flanky McCree. Your team is kind of, I mean, you're Winston also flank, so, and you're with him, and you're Zarya, so that's fine. But here, you stay in this area for a long time, and you get some shots off. You try to go for the Lucio. He's very elusive, Lucio. He gets pocketed by Mercy. The D.Va comes in. You're like, oh no, I don't want any part of that, and the Hanzo kills you.
Hans on the left side.
So how much impact did you have in that fight?
Nice.
Not a lot, not a lot. I dare say almost no impact at all. And so you want to think about what could you have done in that kind of situation. Probably stuck more with your tanks, maybe your healers also, just to get some more support and focus down targets better. I feel like you were going for like a solo mission McCree, which unless you're like Taimu or something, usually doesn't work out extremely well in most situations. Sometimes it works out well, but thankfully your team was able to clean up there without you.
Gonna show up there.
So you just want to be thinking about when is it the best time for me to
No,
flank,
not.
and when is it the best time for me to play with my team. So here I think
Oh fuck.
in a little bit. Yeah, right here. So this is when a D.Va comes up here. This is bad positioning on your part. It's gonna put it out there. Because when D.Va starts pressuring you, yes, back up. But I think you backed up in the wrong direction. You started backing up just like back here. And the D.Va had supports. So the Mercy should have been pocketing the D.Va, and a good Mercy D.Va would have went after you when you were like 120 HP or something like that right before. And they would have finished you off. But I think D.Va gets kind of scared or like finds a better target or whatever. But for some reason doesn't go after you anymore. I mean now she does, but yeah. Before you shouldn't have backed up like behind stairs. You should
Getting chased by
have
D.Va.
backed up to your friends, like to your team, to the left side, and then back. Because you versus D.Va, especially pocketed by Mercy, but you versus D.Va ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna
I'm
happen.
nearly dead. I'm dead.
It's basically the rest of the.
Yep.
Yeah, Fresco's fine.
You go.
There's not that much to say about that.
I hate.
When I saw it the first time through,
No,
at
no,
least.
right.
Here's a situation where you could have been a little more Johnny on the spot with your roll. So the D.Va fires at you a lot. I don't know how you get bursted down really quickly right here, but as soon as that happened, just pay attention a little more to your HP. Because right here, roll, roll, roll.
Damn.
If you had a good roll right there to the left or something, you might have been able to live. But it was a lot of of damage. So like right here, this roll
It's pretty much just
when
fine
you're taking
with
like
it.
all that damage.
It ain't my time.
Yeah, it was a little bit bursty, so that one's debatable. But I think in some situations you could be a little more Johnny on the spot with your rolls. Okay, nothing happens for a few more seconds. Here they're starting to come in without their Rhine, which is dumb of them. But it really scares me here what you're doing. You're peeking the Widow on the right side, which really scares me because he knows which way you're coming out of. A good Widow, you'll be dead. You'll be dead already. So that just scares me a little bit. Just be careful. You don't die, thankfully, but there will be a day. There will be a day when you die. And I will cry. Well, I will not cry because I told you not to do it. So just be careful with that. That was a good early ult on the Zarya because you knew he was going to safety, so that's fine. Here, I think, is where you start to get a little greedy. So you go out, you 1v1 a Widow, again, scaring me like quite a lot. If you didn't get that shot, there's a decent chance you might have died. And here, you have no reason to be there at all. Like, once you kill the Widow, like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm already scared. And then you like, anytime you see Junkrat in like a tight corridor, that's a no-no. Like, as soon as you see that, just back out. I mean, you shouldn't have been there to begin with. You should have like reset on your high ground. So like the positioning you had like right before the Widow came out, that was like nice. Like right here, you know, like even up here is okay because they're not like pushed up yet. As soon as you start to push up, you should back up to where you were. But like you going for the Widow and then you going for the Junkrat, like both of those plays were just too greedy in my opinion. Like your team, your Hog, your tanks, they should be the ones making space for you, and then you could just click heads from the back. But it's not your job to be the one like all up in their grill, you know? Like what if like a Reinhardt like appeared like right there or something, like shielded, I don't know. Like what if like anyone else appeared right there? You're just way overextended. And I think you just got lucky with your, not lucky with your shots, but it happened to work out like with the Widow. And with the Junkrat it didn't happen to work out. But either case, it's kind of greedy.
Nah, literally walked into that.
Yes, you did. Okay, and I think the last thing is again the same story in the next exchange. So you go for the sneaky flank, which is alright. But again, you lost someone, your team isn't really with you, you lost another one. So okay, as soon as you got that Hanzo, like, you saw both of your healers just die. Are you gonna solo like all these guys by yourself? A Mercy, a Bastion right here, a Ryan. Like as soon as you get that Hanzo pick and you see that your healers are dead, like back up. Like that's it. Like you got your shot, like you were lucky to get that Hanzo, and just back up. You were really lucky you didn't die right
in the
here.
corner.
And even here, like yeah, the Bastion's on the corner, but why are you peeking him? This is crazy, dude. This is crazy. And you're lucky you didn't die by that. This is crazy. Like, whoo! Like you peeked that Bastion like 3 times or something, and that was scary. So yeah, I feel like you're being a little aggressive, a little greedy when you don't have to be so much. He's being pocketed by Mercy. Get out of there. One swing would kill you. If that fire strike hit you, or if he swung once, you would have died, and that's no bueno. So just in terms of positioning, you don't have to be in such a overextended position. So this is where you should be. This is as McCree where you want to be. This high noon's a little questionable only because you were so out in the open, but it worked out. It worked out. You're really low. You shouldn't have been there. When you're at 20, like 25 health, which you were, you want to just play as safe as possible. Maybe even go for the health pack, but like at the very least, just like chilling there. Like chilling there. I don't know. There's a health pack right there. There's Mega right there. There's no reason for you to be trying to contest point like when you're at 25 health. Okay. The rest of the fight just works out. Again, you're like you shouldn't have been there like at all. It frustrates me because you're like your shots are good. Your shots are good for sure. I think they are above average for where you're playing at. But I think your positioning is maybe what's keeping you. Because I feel like because you're getting your shots and because some of your flanks are working out, you feel like it's it's worth it, but in some situations where it doesn't work out, and maybe for like 3 pushes or something, like you don't get any value out of your flanks, like that's not worth it. I know King of the Hill is a little different playing as McCree, but again, you want to be just really careful. I feel like you could be a lot more careful when you're playing. Even that one when you were going for the ult on Widow, that's pretty scary, So just try not to scare me as much.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, aiming, if anything, just work on being a little more diligent with your headshots. But other than that, just positioning-wise, you want to play a lot safer. Like, leave it to your tanks to be the one like making space and just follow up on
Oh
them.
yeah. Some people on the inside, some on the outside.
But other than that, nice video. Good stuff. Nice shots. Obviously, this was a good game. But yeah, it's good stuff.